Was it on? Yeah. Cut. Hey there, hopheads, and welcome to the Sheds. I'm Evenstar, and this is the Beer and Review. And today we have a limited edition from a brewery called the Hop Foundry, and it's been brewed for Aldi supermarkets. Yes, another Aldi budget beer, and you could tell it was limited edition at the store because this was the last can, and it was on sale. So, bargain beer, awesome, right? And it is an Orange Infused Pale Ale, and I am fully expecting this to be terrible. Right, I know that's a really bad attitude to have, but I'm not a big fan of fruit beers or infused beers. This also has, I think, coriander in it. Now, I like coriander, and I like its fresh version cilantro as well. I know some people find it really, really revolting. My dad, for example, does not like coriander, but I love it. I'm not sure I want to drink it, but I do like to try new things. So, you know, a little bit skeptical, but it might be awesome, right? So, brewery is called the Hop Foundry. I'm not familiar with their brand at all. I don't know if they're like a special brewery that like Aldi has cooked up, but they do small batch limited edition brewing, so that's pretty exciting. I have another can of their beer in the fridge, which is just a regular pale ale, which I'm going to try soon. It is a 4.2% alcohol. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Oh, well, didn't expect that. Cut. And we're back. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. This has been in my fridge, maybe a week and a half. Was not really expecting that at all. It doesn't bode well for the beer. I don't think if it's going to be quite so sudsy. Got a nice, this is actually more of a Pilsner glass, not a Pilsner glass, but lager type glass. But I like this type of glass for holding a 330ml can. So this is a 330ml can, because you got lots of head space. The tulip shape, or the tapered shape, you know, allows you to you know, channel the scent into your nose and all that bullshit, right? To be perfectly honest, I prefer a good old pint glass for any kind of beer, but the odd time it does feel like a bit of a treat to have it in a fancy glass, right? So let's exploit the characteristics of this vessel and have a sniff. Ooh. Okay. It doesn't smell orangey. What it smells like is meringue. Yeah, I'm not getting any of the infused things, so I'm not getting any orange or coriander. I'm not even getting a lot of hops in there. It's just sort of a fresh, clean smell. I was expecting to be disappointed, and I am disappointed, but not for the reasons I thought I was going to be disappointed. It doesn't actually taste of much of anything. I'm really struggling here. So, it was on sale. I'm just going to see if there's a date printed on here. Beer shouldn't really expire, you know, for about 6 months. So the date on here is best before date is 30/04/20. So I don't know if I'd want to taste this like next year, because it doesn't really taste of much of anything right now. That is extremely disappointing for both something called a pale ale and something that is touted as being orange infused. Yes. I'm gonna have just another taste here. Sometimes a beer needs to warm up a bit. You know, it has been in the fridge. It might be a little bit cold, but even that cold, you know, my fridge isn't, you know, Antarctica. There should be a lot more flavor in that. It just tastes like rather, not even generic beer. It tastes like sort of bitter, fizzy water with a little bit of beer flavor in it. Sadly, there's really not much more I can say about this beer, and I'm really sad that here on the Beer and Review we've had a bad one, because we don't often get a bad one here. I think this is probably the worst one I've ever had on here. I mean, there's beers that I don't like. So my philosophy is that just because if you don't like a beer, that doesn't mean it's a bad beer, because there's all different kinds of beer, all different flavors of beer. I have this debate with a gentleman down at our local, who's quite set in his ways, shall we say, about beer. You know, he'll say, you know, we have guests on there, and he'll try one, and he'll say, oh, that beer is terrible, or that brewery's terrible. And it's like, well, why? Well, have you tasted that? And it's like, well, I like the taste of that. Just because you don't like the taste of it doesn't make the beer bad. You have to take into consideration, when you're thinking, it might not be to your taste, but when you're thinking about judging a beer, it's, you know, is the sweetness and the bitterness balanced? Are the flavors balanced? Is the character complex or simple? Just because you don't like the flavor, that doesn't mean the flavor's bad. It's just a flavor that you don't like, which is a whole different thing from a bad beer. And a bad beer, I would say this falls into the category of bad beer. There's no flavor, there's no body. They've set an expectation of interesting flavors with orange and coriander infusions, and the beer literally like falls flat. There's no taste in there at all. So I am going to call this a bad beer. I don't think it would be to anyone's taste, unless your taste is like Corona. Then this is probably awesome for you, right? Because that doesn't taste like much of anything either. You know, it's not even bitter or sweet. It's just very beige. It's like kind of the worst kind of beige. It's shit beige. So, yes, that is a little bit disappointing. I'm not really sure if I want to finish that now. It seems like such a waste. Maybe I'll make a cake with it. You know, something like that. So, sorry hopheads. Hopefully I will have a better beer for you next time, and one which we can, you know, enjoy our fancy glassware with as well. But until next time, I'm Even Star. You're in the sheds, and this has been the Beer and Review.